What's up, y'all? It's me, Erica. Happy Monday. We talking about Real Housewives of Potomac. I had to wait till this phone charged. It went dead and I didn't charge it. So we're kind of pressed for time, I guess. But we're going to talk about Real Housewives of Potomac reunion part 1. And then I guess on the way back, on the way home, we'll talk about Married to Medicine, because that came on last night as well. Hope everybody had a good weekend. I had a good weekend. Had a therapy session this weekend. Was really eye-opening. And it's so funny how you be sitting down talking, and a lot of the times you kind of based on the questioning, you just kind of talk out the answer yourself, which is really good. It helps to have a therapist who lets you process everything, because typically when you're like, when you process it, you're just like, oh shit, I already know the fucking answer, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, so it was a good therapy session. Just basically relaxed all weekend, hit the park yesterday. It was nice. It was really nice. I love this time of the year where the seasons are in between, like summer, fall. It's just a perfect gradual that like in the middle. I love that, because it's still like warm but cool, and I don't know, I love it. Breezy. It was a nice weekend. So Real Housewives of Potomac came on last night, the reunion part 1. To me, overall, was a little boring. Nothing really exciting about it, except for Candiace and Ashley going back and forth. Like, they really do not like each other. And I could only think that it came from the pageant circuit or industry, because Ashley keeps mentioning that as if they're still old enough to participate in these things or look good enough to participate. Neither one of you can participate in one now. So I don't know, maybe they can. They might be able to. Candiace and Ashley, they need to go and next season join a fucking pageant and see who wins, so they could finally get over whatever it is they have, whatever issues they have with each other. It's coming from this pageant, because Ashley bucking her eyes, talking about nobody knows you. Girl, what are you talking about? Who gives a damn? Who gives a damn, Ashley? Don't nobody give a damn. You trying to deflect off the fact you sleeping with your dad. Let's keep it all the way live. And just like somebody online said, I read this morning, was it this morning or last night? Karen is sleeping with her daddy. Ray is old enough to be her damn daddy. Isn't he old enough to be her daddy? 20-something years older than her. What's the girl's name? Monique. She married a man that was well off. So they're like, what's the problem with Ashley? The problem with Ashley is that the way that she acts with the other women. I don't think anybody has an issue with Ashley being with Michael. Everybody knows what it is. It's clear what it is. But now that your problems are on you, now all of a sudden everybody should respect your privacy. Everybody should understand what you're going through, even though you said you weren't going through anything. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, don't nobody have to, like she said that Candiace wasn't a decent human being. Ashley hasn't been decent to anybody. Her antics and wanting to get everything out on the table and pulling up things at the wrong time, talking about things that don't have any concern of hers. Now it's your turn, but you don't want that, and that's the problem. And you all that hollering and screaming that her and Candiace was doing, that was the most exciting thing of all of that. Let's see. Let me see. Here we are. Reunion. Here we are. Is this it? Okay, yeah, here it is. The fashions were lackluster to me. I don't think that if anybody was halfway decent, it was Monique with the little gladiator, little breastplates look like coming out of her little thing. Other than that, no. Gizelle's little pants, lace pants, little outfit jumper thing would be cute in an emerald green. or a royal blue, or a purple, like a royal purple. White, no, out of here. That would even be cute in a gold. Like that whole the outfit was cute, like a little put. I thought it was cute, but not in white. White, I don't know. To me, I think white looks good on a darker skin, not a real light, bright skin like all of these women are. Like the white looks good on Monique and Candiace. It doesn't look good on a blonde head, dark root. That's not my. It doesn't look cute. You look trashy. Like what's her name? Robin looked like, you know, she looked like she's ready to kick a broken screen door off the hinges. You know, like she doesn't look. It looks trashy and washed. They don't look bright. They don't look vibrant. That white against that pale skin. Not a fan of that look. So, god damn, girl, why are you tailgating people? I do not like being tailgated. So they immediately like jump in to getting on Michael. And she's like, they all have an opinion on Michael. We all have an opinion on Michael, just like you've had an opinion on Robin, you've had an opinion on Gizelle and Karen, Monique, you've had an opinion on everybody. So now we have an opinion on you and your husband. It's wonderful. Karen mentions that Gizelle has so much to say from that chair, and I'm really glad that they kind of are spotlighting how Gizelle is was messy throughout the season, and then her trying to say that she was, you know, trying to do better, but we didn't see any of that. And she said, I thought that everybody was missing a sensitivity chip. How could she have thought that? Like, now I know how we could be as Virgos, like a little bit of like lacking emotion and some like really being practical about things and looking like, okay, there's no emotion or sensitivity there. But I don't even think for Gizelle that it's a lack of sensitivity. I think it's that maybe that is a lack of, that she just does not care. She's apathetic. There is nothing there. So it's not even a lack of sensitivity, it's an absence. Like, you don't have any a little bit. You just don't. And then the idea, which I thought was weird, was that they were talking about Robin injects something like, I guess she understands what I'm going through. I think that's why she understands what I'm going through with Juan. The fact that she's back with Jamal Bryant, or they're dating, and she was trying to lie about it. That was really weird, but it was just, and you can now see what it looks like when she's lying or not trying to tell the truth. She just gave her little shit away. I don't think that Gizelle, I just find her like whack. Like, I don't know, I just find her whack. Like, you whack. Like, and what do? You just want to be the pretty girl sitting in the pew? Because there's she never has modeled any kind of first lady, women's organizer. Like, she tried to do that, and what happened to her book? Somebody else asked that in the comments. What happened to Gizelle's book that she was about to write on Jamal and her situation as a first lady of a church? And I'm really interested in finding out what is going on with Every Hue, because they didn't even bring it up. But anyway, there was one part where Karen said to, when they were talking about her grieving, and we thought it was just a little weird that you would be on IG Live and you're supposed to be grieving. Well, you just can't tell anybody how to grieve and what that looks like. Somebody might want to go work out, and that's their form of grief. That you can't dictate. Robin and Gizelle, y'all can't dictate how somebody grieves. Maybe she doesn't. Maybe she feels safer with the people in the phone than she does with you. So that should say a little bit more about how y'all deal with her. She feels safer with people on the internet than she does in your little circle. So she don't want to grieve with y'all. She wants to grieve with the people in the phone. And Karen said to Robin, and I don't question why you love Juan. Robin act like she didn't hear that. I was like, Robin, you got something to say about that? Nobody's questioning why you love Juan. I would never question why you love Juan. That's so funny to me. So they were asking about Gizelle. Who is Gizelle dating? And Andy was trying to act like he didn't know. I know who it is. I heard who it was, and this and that. She's stumbling over her words and doing all this shit. And then Karen says, it don't matter. She ain't gonna keep them. She don't keep them longer than a season. I said, oh my God. She was on Gizelle's ass. Gizelle was like, looking like, well, okay, a season, whatever. I keep it for a season or whatever. Yes, and that's the funny part is that Karen is older than Gizelle. They're like battling. Gizelle is literally battling for the same position, like trying to be this kind of, like I say, her and Mariah are the same kind of person. Like they're the same kind of person. Both of y'all want to be the nucleus of the group. You want to feel like you're needed. You need that. You need that. You need to feel like you're needed. And this lady Karen keeps reminding you, but you ain't nobody. You ain't nobody. You ain't gonna be able to keep this man for a season. We'll see. I don't understand what the rationale behind dating Jamal Bryant, with redating him after he quote unquote embarrassed you and all this other stuff. That she said her daughters think it's weird because they've never seen them like dating, and typically when they all go out, it's all of them, and now it's just them two going out. So I would like to know, has she done any interviews? I would like to know how she got to that space for him, because they were in the audience at the Dave Chappelle stand-up, sitting in the front row together. That's where I was like, what award show did I see Gizelle and Jamal? They were in the front row of Dave Chappelle's stand-up. Go watch it. They sitting right there in the front row. I figured that Gizelle just wants to be the pretty girl in the front row. You don't want to really do much. But based on what I've heard and seen, Jamal Bryant is down in Atlanta doing a lot in terms of like community involvement and prison reform and things like that with his church. So I'm not sure that Gizelle is the charitable first lady type. Maybe she can, fall into that role and play like she is, and maybe that's why she was doing it before. But I'm trying to figure out, like, what's the tea? Like, why would you go back to him? I would like to know why. I'm very interested. But yeah, you cannot tell people how to grieve. They got on Karen, telling Karen, we thought it was a little strange that you would go up and be with the people on the phone. And I already said what I had to say about that. She just doesn't feel comfortable. She doesn't have to. You guys have proven that you can't be trusted with a lot of different places or issues with people. You can't be trusted, especially that Gizelle. Printing shirts and stuff like that, making fun of this woman and her husband's tax issues. And then she could make fun of you going back to somebody who emotionally abused you. Do you want her to make fun of that? Because that was, I'm sure, wasn't a bright moment in your life. So, you just have to keep that in mind when you're dealing with people. And like, what was it? It was something that I was watching. What was it that I was watching? Oh, Toya and Contessa. They're not friends. They don't need to try and get them to be friends. They don't need none of that. Those two ladies are not friends. Period. And at the reunion, Toya told Contessa that we're not friends. And Contessa, I don't care if we are friends or not, whatever. So once you tell a person we're not friends, I don't owe you any respect. I don't owe you any cordiality. I do not owe you anything. Nothing. I don't have to be nice to you. I can talk shit to you. I can say whatever I want to. We're not friends. You've said it, and I what am I gonna do? We're not friends, and that's it. And that's, I'm like, this thing with Karen and Gizelle, they're not friends. They're not gonna be friends. Don't nobody need to be. It's a frenemy situation. They're gonna be like a Patti LaBelle. What is it? Patti LaBelle, Aretha Franklin type friendship. Like the nice, nasty, always getting your little shade off, always saying your little reads like, oh, you're not gonna be able to keep another man for another season, and then telling what's her name, Robin, what did she tell her? I don't question why you love Juan. That shit was so funny. I don't know why Gizelle is so preoccupied with Karen's company, but whatever. So here comes Candiace and her mother, and she was like that she loved the camera. Her whole little like display and her little demonstration for the cameras was nauseating at the least. I was so disgusted. I'm like, I'm not even playing with Candiace and her mom. I don't even, whatever. They talked about her hitting her in the head with the thing, and and then her acting like making a suggestion that she's not paying for, or she's still paying for their home. And then Gizelle saying that she saw her and that the mother said to her that she's going to be paying for the $2 million home. And the first thing, this is one thing. I guess we are just, as a community, if this is the case. Now, outside of the emotional abuse that Candiace and her mom go through, that toxic cycle, outside of that, if her mother really does have money, just like Candiace yelled, it's called a legacy. This idea that that a black child can't live off their parents' legacy, and that if their parent wants to, like, there should not be any problems with that. And I think if she was paying, I don't see nothing wrong with her doing it if there wasn't that negativity attached to it. Am I making sense? Like, if Dorothy wasn't who she was, being that toxic, controlling ass woman, and wanted to support her daughter and her husband, and it's how you keep money in, you buy a home for your child so they don't have to worry about any situations, and making sure that they set their children up. People set their children up so they do not fail. That's why these parents are going to jail. Felicity Huffman, 14 days, going to jail for doing, committing a crime to get their child in school, to make sure that they have a way. So you understand what I'm saying? So if like Candiace was yelling, that's what it's called, a legacy. And so she should have said that to Ashley. I don't have to sleep with an old man. My mother has money. My family has money. So I don't have to do what you're doing so to make sure that I have a meal ticket or whatever. I already got one. You understand? So that's why I'm like, okay, Candiace, you're not really getting in Ashley's ass the way you should. I'm surprised nobody has told her to say that to Ashley, because somebody should have said that to Ashley a long time ago. All these, you making fun of her living in her mama's house. You living in your daddy's house. What's the difference? You living in your daddy's house, Ashley. What's the difference, girl? And that's just what they need to say to her. They were going back and forth, hollering and screaming at each other. They started talking about Dorothy and Candiace's father. And so this is what I came up with, and you tell me if I missed something. So Candiace's father cheated on Dorothy before they were married, produced a child. She went on with the marriage, had Candiace, never told Candiace that she had a brother. And she's saying that she's not holding on to any of that because she's been married 25 years and that's past her now. Did I miss anything? Because why are you still up there crying? I'm trying to figure out, if you're moved past it, why are you crying if it's not an area of pain for you still? Like, I think you would be okay with talking about it without breaking down. Like, for me, I guess it depends on, but in front of all those people, I don't know. I guess it depends on the situation, but I don't know. This thing is, we'll see. Let's see, there's no excuse so Ashley and Candiace are going back and forth because she's like, the reason that I went off on you is not because of anything else, but because you kept coming back in my house. I don't understand why anybody could not back Candiace up on that. You coming back into somebody's house, you can get killed like that, period. That's end of it. You went out of her house, came inside, you felt like why? Because somebody was talking about your husband. Everybody was talking about your husband, and you wanted to get everything straightened out. Remember, it didn't matter. Nobody cared, right? So now I don't understand why anybody couldn't say you were wrong for going back inside this woman's house. Did anybody? Maybe I missed it, but they were hollering so much. Even Andy was like, "Y'all okay?" Like, it was back and forth, yelling. And then what makes it worse is they're yelling back and forth and your fashions look horrible. That's what I'm thinking in my head. Like, look at how y'all dress, yelling back and forth. Y'all look crazy, hollering back and forth at each other, and your fashions are terrible. They're horrible. Like, y'all look crazy to me. Candiace has some feathers and shit, boa type shit feathers coming up. It looked a mess. Ashley's hair was a mess. I don't know what was going on with her outfit. Whatever. I don't know. Ashley yells to Candiace that she's the least accomplished person in the group. Ashley, I don't understand how Ashley fixed her mouth to say that, because if Candiace has all her businesses are still open and your business is closed and you don't have anything else, where's your little yoga business? Isn't she doing, what is it? Where is that? Where is that at? You know what I'm saying? So I don't understand why Ashley thought that was something. It didn't make sense. That's what it, like, when you're reading somebody, the reads are more effective when it's the truth. When you're just saying things out of your mouth and they don't make any sense, everybody's looking at you like, Ashley, what are you talking about? That doesn't even make sense for her to say that Candiace was the least accomplished. I'm trying to understand what she means by that. Because is she talking about beauty pageants? Like, what are you talking about, Ashley? Candiace said Michael was ready to die and Ashley was waiting on pins and needles so she could collect them checks. Oh my God. When I tell you, her ass was getting Ashley together, and Ashley really, that's the thing. Like, when you don't know and you try to come back at somebody and they got real tea on you, you look stupid when they just talking shit, they don't know what they're talking about. Reads are only effective when they're accurate. And that's it. I said Ashley and Candiace are Gizelle and Karen. Like, they're not going to be friends. They're frenemies. They're not going to get along. They'll do a cordial thing for a little while, and then when it's time to go off on each other, they'll get all the venom ready for each other, and that's just what it's going to be. They showed Ashley kissing Michael again. I just couldn't imagine being that hard up for anything that I would actually sleep with that man. Like, you have to be in a odd space for you to believe, like, okay, this is my ticket out, this man right here. I don't know. I wonder how many other men I would like to see Ashley's past boyfriends. I would like to see them and see what they look like, because you didn't just happen upon an old ass man like this. This is not the first time. This could not be the first time. Maybe because Michael had so much money and was taking her all around the world, maybe she was just like, fuck it, like this, but there's nothing. You had to have this experience before, because there's no way to be like, okay, I'm just gonna start dating my father just out the blue. This is something I would really like to see Ashley's ex-boyfriends. Let's see. The baby, they showed the baby. I don't know. She said that Candiace was not a decent human being. Ashley, like, a lot of things that Ashley's saying, I'm like, girl, are you just talking about yourself, yelling at somebody else, talking about yourself? You don't make any sense. None of her shit was making sense to me. And then wanted to act like you're this victim, like you're Ashley acting like she's the victim, somebody's hurting her feelings or whatever. No, because you spit just as much venom back as you're receiving. You're not no victim, girl. And that is what I was just saying last night. I hope Candiace doesn't apologize. I'm glad she didn't apologize. She don't owe Ashley shit. Don't nobody owe Ashley one apology, nothing. Not after her behavior. And you believe that you're right and you standing in your shit. So nobody owes Ashley an apology. And I was like, Candiace, please don't apologize to that girl. Do not apologize. Go ahead, Ashley. Go ahead and live in your delusions. Go ahead. Live in your delusions, honey. So we're going to see. They're going to keep arguing back and forth. I'm trying to figure out what it is that Ashley keeps saying that nobody knows Candiace. In the pageant world? Like, what are you talking about, Ashley? Shut the fuck up. You sound ridiculous. Anyways, y'all, that's my time. Hopefully you guys will get down in the comments and we could talk about it some more if I missed anything. Have a wonderful day. Take care of each other.